All right, let's start today by thinking about this problem. If there are 9 pebbles in total in this pitcher, how many pebbles must be inside the brown paper bag? Think about how you know. So we can see in this image that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pebbles outside the brown paper bag. And we have an unknown number of pebbles inside the brown paper bag. We can call that unknown x. We know that altogether, if we take the x pebbles in the brown paper bag and the 6 outside, we should have a total of 9. Meaning, in order for this to be true, there must be 3 pebbles inside the brown paper bag because 3 plus 6 is 9. Thus, mathematically, we can say that x is 3. And there are, in fact, 3 pebbles inside the brown paper bag. This leads to the topic of today's lesson, one-step equations. Let's begin today by solving one-step equations with addition and subtraction. Example 1. X plus 5 equals 8. The goal of this problem is to get the variable by itself on one side of the equal sign. Think of the equal sign like a dividing wall between the problem. In order to get x by itself, we are going to remove 5 from the same side of the equation as x. Doing so, we must do it on both sides, because equations serve as a type of balanced scale. Subtracting 5 from both sides gives us, on the left-hand side, 5 plus negative 5, which makes 0, and on the right-hand side, 8 minus 5, which is 3. So x is 3. Let's take a look at another example. X minus 3 equals 7. Once again, our goal is to isolate the variable or get it by itself on one side of the equal sign. Right now, we can see that x and minus 3 are on the same side of the equation. The opposite of minus 3 is to add 3. Like I said before, to maintain balance of our scale, if I add something on one side of the equation, I must do so on the other. So I plus 3 on both sides of the equal sign. On the left-hand side, negative 3 and positive 3 make 0, and on the right-hand side, 7 plus 3 makes 10. So x is 10. Now try these two. Go ahead, pause the video, and give it a try. Check in with your neighbor or the teacher to verify you get them correct. All right, let's look at example 3. 22 is equal to m minus 12. Our goal, once again, is to isolate the m. Now this time, our variable's on the right side of the equation, so we must move the minus 12 that is on the right side with the variable m. The opposite of subtracting 12 is to add it, so we will add 12 on both sides of the equation. On the right-hand side, the negative 12 plus 12 makes 0. And on the left-hand side, 22 plus 12 makes 34. So m is equal to 34. Example 4. H plus negative 13 is equal to 10. Once again, our goal is to get the variable by itself. We must recognize that plus and negative is the same as minus. A positive times a negative is a negative. So we have h plus negative 13 becomes h minus 13 equals 10. Our goal is to isolate the h on the left-hand side. So we must move the minus 13. The opposite of subtracting 13 is to add 13. But what we do on one side of the equation, we must do on the other. On the left-hand side, the minus 13 and plus 13 become 0. On the right-hand side, we have 10 plus 13. So we get h is equal to 23. Now it's your turn to try. Try these two problems, pause the video, give it a try. Once you have your answers, check in with a neighbor, see if you get the same thing, or verify with the teacher. Now let's try some that have multiplication and division. Let's take a look at our first example. We have 2x is equal to 10. In mathematics, when a number is next to a variable, it means multiply. So this reads 2 times x is 10. We would like to get the x by itself, so we must remove the times 2. The opposite of multiplying by 2 is dividing by 2, and division in algebra is shown using a fraction bar. So we will divide both sides of this equation by 2. On the left-hand side, we have 2 divided by 2, which becomes 1. And on the right-hand side, we have 10 divided by 2, which is 5. So we get 1x is equal to 5, or x is equal to 5. Example 2. Negative 4y is equal to 36. Our goal here is to isolate the variable y. Once again, the negative 4 is being multiplied to the y, and we know this because the variable and the number are touching. So in order to remove the negative 4 that's being multiplied, we will divide both sides of this equation by negative 4. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 becomes 1. So on the left-hand side, we have 1 times y, or y. On the right-hand side, we have 36 divided by negative 4, or negative 9. Try these two. Pause the video, and give it a try. Check in with a neighbor to see if you got the same thing, or verify with the teacher. All right, example 3. In this problem, this reads, x divided by 2 is equal to 3. On the same side of the equation with the x is this divide by 2. So we must remove divide by 2. The opposite of dividing by 2 is to multiply both sides of the equation by 2. So we put times 2 on the left and the right. On the left-hand side, we have 2 and we have divided by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so it cancels. On the right-hand side, we have 3 times 2, which is 6. So x is 6. Example 4. X divided by 3 is negative 5. We would like to get x by itself. X is currently being divided by 3. The opposite of dividing by 3 is multiplying by 3. So we multiply both sides of this equation by 3. On the left-hand side, we get 3 divided by 3, or 1. 1x, or just x. And on the right-hand side, we have negative 5 times 3, which is negative 15. So x is negative 15. Go ahead and try these two. Pause the video, give it a try, check in with a neighbor to see if you get the same thing, or verify with the teacher.